Today's guest is my friend Brian Paik, also known to many of us simply as BP. Brian is a creative multi-hyphenate who mixes design, strategy, and branding into captivating products and narratives. One of those rare guys who can talk about architecture styles, fashion trends, and vintage cars in the same breath and somehow make it all connect. He has a deep appreciation for form and craftsmanship, and a strong belief in human-centered design. Whether that shows up in a perfectly cut jacket, a beautifully designed home, or the lines of an iconic sports car. Brian is an art center trained and experienced automotive designer who has touched both concept and production vehicles at various studios around the world. As much as he loves design and entrepreneurship, what really grounds him is showing up as a present father and steady husband. It is part of what gives his perspective so much depth. He is thoughtful about legacy, about building things that last, and about passing on taste, discipline, and imagination to the next generation. I am excited for you to hear this conversation. Anytime BP and I sit down, it is equal parts inspiration, laughter, and a little healthy obsession over the details that make life beautiful.
I'm a financial planner. I'm 21, out of college a year early, because I was like desperate to get to car design, right? I had put it on such a pedestal from age 14 to like 21.
Yeah.
I got there and I was actually disappointed.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh man, like, you know, it doesn't feel that prestigious. It doesn't feel like, you know, what I dreamed it to be. I started drawing cars literally as a probably about a 6-7-year-old in Seattle. I would just sit and draw all the cars parked on the street on the perimeter of our apartment complex.
Okay.
And it would like change every day. I'd draw like, you know, behind a little chain fence, there were like all these parked cars that would change every day. So I'd draw these cars.
Yeah, we're talking about, so I've had this idea for a while. Truth Soul Armor. Do you remember that?
Truth Soul Armor.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
Talk about,
Oh no.
so much cheese.
Yeah, WWJD. Pray until summer happens.
Oh man, those are some sad moments. No, I remember those guys because they were OC guys.
Were they?
True Soul Armor. I
had one of them.
I knew one of them. I can't remember his name. Couple friends.
Okay.
And then that was like the only one. Truth Soul Armor.
I haven't heard of that.
No.
Since about 2002.
And then they came with
Wow.
He Is Greater Than I. That was like 10 years later or something.
That's Hawaii based, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
That
I think they're
became
from North Shore.
That became big.
Yeah.
I was always wondering, like, what is this math equation on the people's cars? This sticker.
I would always see it.
Hecky,
like,
great.
Yeah. I'm like, is that a
Hecky,
thing, or am I reading into it?
Mm-hmm.
It's guys don't talk to guys about how to buy clothes.
No.
Very much.
No.
I only have one friend and I have two friends that have ever talked to me about like how they dress or how I dress or whatever. Yeah. So that's.
Am I one of those guys? Or you have three now?
You are. I just learned through your blog. I don't have to ask you. I just watch the reels.
Yeah. Okay. Note taking. Yeah. How do you package that up better and like communicate a point of view?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, working on that. But
feeling like yourself.
Yeah.
You know how you represent.
What's your vibe?
Yourself.
Like you're kind of a little bit of a streetwear, workwear.
Yeah.
Mix.
That's a yeah. That's a good fit. Yeah.
You like your sneakers.
Yeah. And my wife, Hannah, who I love.
Yeah.
She wants me to go more in that preppy direction.
Oh really?
Yeah. She likes it when I dress, you know, kind of like
dress up a little.
Yeah. For lack of a better word, like J. Crew or something.
Yeah. That's not your bat. That's not your thing.
Yeah. Give me like Carhartt and hundreds.
Okay.
Like that together, but it has to be functional. I like the functionality of workwear.
Yeah. Right.
And then I like the statement kind of point of view of streetwear. Yeah. Which is.
Do you feel like streetwear's still around in a way? I would feel like a dope wearing Supreme right now.
I don't know that much about streetwear actually. I like the style, but I haven't like followed like from like Stussy to Babe to hundreds, all that stuff. I just gotta pick and choose.
It's interesting, like Stussy, you could still wear that, I think, because it has such a
heritage element to it where it's almost like if you had a vintage Stussy shirt, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You know? But then like streetwear, I think is morphed a little bit and become a little more tailored in a way.
Yeah.
Sophisticated. If you're like Noah, if you're familiar with them out of New York, like those guys are doing.
Yeah.
They started a little more streetwear, and now they're really like much more refined, almost like you know, Drake's. Your wife would like you in Drake's. That's kind of like really English prep, kind of, but not too preppy. Okay. Yeah, Hannah would like your Drake's vibe.
Is that at all like Apollos? Or more English?
A little more English, a little more prep.
Okay.
Apollos, my recollection of them was really more like raw denims kind of vibes, you know?
Elevated basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wore my Apollos jacket today.
They had some good stuff. I mean, those guys had good taste.
Warehouse sale.
Yeah, okay.
All day.
Now they're just doing bags.
Yeah.
Just bags.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we need bags.
We need bags, man.
You know what's funny is I bought a bag, so I got tired of my Amy Leon d'Or bag that's like canvas. You know, it's like based off of an old LL Bean type bag. Those canvas kind of sailor bags.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta break out, you know, something different. That's kind of maybe too casual. I want to dress it up a little bit. So I was like, I've been shopping for like a leather tote.
Yeah.
I cannot find a leather tote to save my life.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a purse.
Yes.
So I bought this one Portland leather company, and I looked all around, and they look like purses. I'm like, what do you do?
Wait, so you got it?
I got it, and I returned it already.
Oh, yeah.
I returned it already. I'm like, this is like, no, that's too feminine.
Yeah.
It needs to like almost be oversized or.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know, because like, I don't want to, I'm not going to carry an accent.
Distinguish it.
Yeah. It's got to be the size and a little bit of the shape and how the handles are.
Right.
They need to be a little stronger. So there's an opportunity for product development right there. Like, I cannot find this thing.
You heard of Kill Spencer?
Yeah.
Do you like, is that too tactical? It's not like
No, they got some good stuff. I haven't seen a tote from them, but there was a brand called Hard Graft that I put my computer in that has a leather cool vibe, but they don't have a tote that I've seen or something like that. I'm not going to carry an attaché around like briefcase style. Although that might be cool.
With a shoulder strap or just two handles?
Two handles, but long enough to put on the shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, I don't have it today, but the black one with the orange lining that I usually have.
But that's nylon, right?
That is nylon.
Yeah.
But that's the guy's tote that I.
Yeah, because I think it's interesting when you get into leather.
Yeah.
It almost goes immediately to purse vibe.
If you're not careful, you'll get a diaper bag. You
know what might work is suede.
Oh.
I think suede is the answer.
I don't know.
That's
either.
good banter.
But I have a question for you, although you're supposed to. Was there a period of life where you did not know how to dress, where you were a terrible dresser?
100%.
Yeah? Tell me about that time. Like, what are we talking about?
That's funny. I grew up in San Diego.
Yeah.
And about when I was about 13, we were just wearing Vans and, you know, whatever. I don't even remember what I wore, to be honest. I didn't think about clothes. But I remember growing up, my mom was a value shopper, we'll say.
Okay.
God bless her. And I had some occasionally embarrassing vibes going on that maybe led to moments of ridicule.
Okay.
And which stuck with me a little bit. And then I moved to St. Louis, Missouri at age 13. And like, okay, immediately you got to figure out your style vibe, because to fit in and not be like outcast. Yeah. Brutal time.
Oh.
8th grade.
8th grade. Okay.
So 8, 9, 10, I was in St. Louis, Missouri. And I don't think I had much vibe going there other than California. But, and then I was also like, it's funny, I was into breakdancing and, you know, BMX bikes and stuff. Nobody in St. Louis is into breakdancing and BMX bikes in the suburbs of where of white people that I live. And, you know, that was like, you don't do that. So leaned into my soccer interests in schools and started playing hockey on the ponds.
Oh.
But then we get into like khakis and polos. It was very much like polo shirts. And,
Yeah.
you know, there were these chinos called Duckhead.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the thing there. And when we were wearing LL Bean, loafer kind of things.
So
very prep.
almost like a uniform. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very prep. Like a lot of that kind of vibe.
Tucked-in polo?
No, I mean, it wasn't that dressy, but, you know, that was the moment of layers. This is like the late 80s.
Okay.
I'm in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So it was layers and things like that. But then I came back to San Diego.
Yeah.
And
now you're in chinos.
what the heck? Yeah, I can't do that.
And a polo back in San Diego.
So, but then at least I was like vibe style aware.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, okay, how do we need to pivot now?
So you'd gone through the gauntlet of like figuring out how to dress yourself, how to present.
Started like figuring out I needed my haircut differently.
Okay.
So it was late high school. Yeah. That's when I started to figure out style and get a little bit of momentum and people interested in like, oh, he's got some vibe.
Okay.
So that's when I was like,
that's cool.
I would wear like a sweater with some acid wash jeans and rolled up cuffs and like Genera, this or that. Like we were wearing loafers. Like, I don't know. I don't remember what the shoes were called, but
so you were like, there are no rules. I can.
It's a little broader. Yeah.
Do what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we were
that's cool.
changing the vibe. And then college continued and then was, a little bit of, I would say it was a little leaning preppy, you know,
in college
at that time. Yeah.
Gotta do that.
How about you? When did you start getting interested in?
Oh man, I was a terrible dresser most of my life. Yeah. And I'm not like, you know, great at it now, but I had no sense of it. Yeah. Like in high school, in junior high, although like the whole being slightly like anti, like going a little bit like different. When I look back at photos, like that was kind of there. I wasn't like afraid to do something a little different. Yeah. But I didn't really know how to put it together, you know? And then it wasn't until after college. Yeah. Because before that, I don't know if you know like car guys, because I'm like a car guy, right? Yeah. And car guys are terrible dressers. Sorry. Yeah. like we will go out
basketball
in sandals,
shorts.
Always sandals. Yeah, basketball shorts. You know, dirty t-shirt, like awkwardly sized, because you're going to like AutoZone. Yeah. And then picking up, you know, some fast food and going back to work on your car. Yeah. Right. And so you think that's like acceptable, right?
Yeah. Okay, BP, here we are. Supra, tell me a little bit about this. It's a beauty.
My 95 Supra, often referred to as my first child before my human son was born. Yeah. So I got this in 2017. Okay. When I was living in Michigan. That's nice.
Hey, you know, it's real.
Yeah, real deal. Yeah, that's right. We're not going to cut that.
No. That's what they do on Smartless. They wouldn't cut this on Smartless.
Yeah. That's right. Well, now you're plugging other podcasts.
Hey, I love those guys.
So
JB, Jason, check us out.
That's right. I picked it up in San Jose, California.
Off of some tech millionaire?
No, off of this really cool guy named Ezekiel. He was a mechanic, and he bought this when literally like classic story, like old lady traded it in. Yeah. So he had to pick it up. Okay. And he was selling it because he wanted to open his own shop. And he has now opened that shop, no longer working out of his dad's garage, and is like the premier classic Toyota Corolla AE86 transmission rebuilder, like on the whole West Coast. So he's it's paid off for him anyway. Yeah. So that's who I bought it from.
Dialed.
The trans, yeah. The trans was great. He had done some things to it,
Mhm.
but the exterior was super rough. He was like, all mechanics, no aesthetics.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Usually it's the opposite,
That's right.
and then you get
That's
some
right.
kind of
Yeah.
whole bag of rocks on the inside.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
And why this car versus so many out there? And have you always been like a JDM guy and like?
I've gone through my share of cars.
Mhm.
Probably past 15 cars now.
Okay.
I had a problem.
Yeah.
I started with V8 American
Okay.
and then went over to Japanese and then German cars. And then the reason I liked this was I graduated high school in '01,
Mm-hmm.
which was the year of the first Fast and Furious film,
Okay.
right? So that was an
Okay.
impression, right?
Yeah.
And then also having grown up on V8s, I like cars with a lot of torque,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't like motors where you have to like really rev it out to get to the power.
Right.
So this has a lot of torque. It's a 3-liter inline 6.
Okay.
And the way it's geared, it gets off the line pretty good. So, it kind of feels like a
Were
best of
these
both worlds.
turboed at all?
They do come turbo.
Okay.
This is not the turbo variety.
Okay.
I am sad about that. So, credit to my wife, Hannah. She allowed me to purchase this when I found it. Actually, a friend of mine found it and then sent me the listing. When we were in escrow on our first house
Wow.
in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
That's
So as you know, when you're in escrow, you can't mess with your finances. You can't pull out new loans.
yeah.
So all I had was like our cash reserves.
Ooh.
And I didn't have turbo money, right?
Just inline 6 money.
Just non-turbo money. But it's okay. A turbo would probably get me in trouble. So I've gone a different direction with this. It's what we call a grip car. It's all suspension focused.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a grip car, a momentum car, for, just having fun in the canyons.
Have you ever
It's not
taken it on the track?
Not a stoplight racer.
Have you ever taken it out on the track?
Taking it on the track, I have not. No, this is too much of a rare breed for me to risk that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe something else.
How many of these do you think there are in the U.S.?
I don't know. I think they sold the most in 1995.
Okay.
But this one has a hard top, right? It doesn't have the removable target top.
Mm.
So that makes it pretty rare. It's also a 5-speed manual,
Nice.
which makes it a little bit rarer. And yeah, this model year came with a special edition gold emblem package, very 90s,
Yes.
which I
Coming back.
I promptly removed. And yeah, it's got gray badging now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Did it come with the gold wheels?
it did not.
No.
No, that was all me.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch. I like.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Ferrari colors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super cool.
Yep.
Can we open her up?
Okay.
I don't know if we'll be able to see much.
Let's see.
inside.
Let's see if this. Okay. Sometimes.
Oh,
sometimes.
Should have ASMR.
You want ASMR?
Yeah. Let's go
Okay.
back.
Okay. Super ASMR. The interior is actually pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
The Supra's known for its driver-oriented cockpit, right? Wraparound cockpit. They like to joke like the passenger compartment. The passenger side was like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the steering wheel.
Is that like BMW's been doing that for a little bit? Did they take from BMW, or you think that was just
Oh yeah.
because no other Toyotas are like that?
Talking about like the E36 and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. That was like a early '90s kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the C4 Corvette had that. Yeah, man.
You got the Momo wheel.
Got the Momo wheel.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, it was probably one of the last modifications I did on this.
Were they all cloth standard interior?
No. The cloth was a special edition thing. I think
Mm.
people opted for them because they were lighter,
Ah.
right?
Okay.
It's a manual cloth seat versus a powered leather seat,
Yep.
right? So.
Have you been tempted to like put in some Recaros or something like that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's on the list, man.
That looks pretty
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah. Got
Nice, man.
Put a nice little sound system in there next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those removable decks, remember those from the 90s? You pull out your old stereo.
Of course. Yeah, you got to have one of those. Yeah, I'll probably put an Alpine in there. You know, that head unit was in there when I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Tell me about the exhaust. I mean, we should go back there and look at it, but
Oh, the exhaust? Well, I'll give you the full list. So the very first thing I did was the suspension, like I said. So it's coilovers to lower it on those wheels with tires. Got the stance right. And at the time, I was still a designer at Ford in Dearborn, Michigan. And then we had our annual designer car show where the designers get to bring all their personal cars and line them up in the courtyard where we usually review our clay models. So it's really fun. And literally because the exterior was so busted,
oh yeah,
the only compliments I got was like nice wheels. No one else commented.
It's a nice personality.
Yeah, that's right. Nice shoes, nice shoes. Right? Doesn't know how to dress, but nice shoes. So, yeah, and then like the headlights are from a 98 Supra.
Okay.
As well as the taillights. And then the front bumper is also updated to a 98 style front bumper.
Huh.
So visually it looks like a 98, but it's a 95.
Interesting.
And to answer your question, the exhaust was the second thing I did after the suspension and wheels. And what else did I do? Put some TRD sway bars on there.
Oh, okay.
Make it corner even flatter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good. I started drawing cars literally as a probably about a 6-7-year-old in Seattle. I would just sit and draw all the cars parked on the street on the perimeter of our apartment complex.
Okay.
And it would like change every day. So I'd draw like, behind a little chain fence, there were like all these parked cars that would change every day. So
Yeah.
draw these cars. I'm a financial planner. I'm 21, out of college a year early because I was like desperate to get to car design, right?
Okay.
So now we're talking about fashion, but okay, I'll save that for later. So first job, 21. I am a financial planner and, like I'm stuck in the wrong job, right? I'm creative, doing a very non-creative job. And I meet this other guy named Daniel. He's also an artist stuck in the wrong job.
Yeah.
So he's a musician. He's a drummer, super talented, right? And the dude was really, really well dressed, like every day, like just had it together.
Daniel.
And so he and I became fast friends, right? And he's in the cars, a lot of common interests. And then one day at lunch break, I go to Marshall's, right? And I get this pair of like Dockers, like Dockers chinos with like the comfort like waist,
Okay.
right?
Stretchy
And I'm
waist.
telling him about these pants that I think are so great. And he's just so disappointed. He's like, BP,
Yeah.
come on, man. He's like, I gotta take you shopping.
Yeah.
And I was so like awkward about it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like I said earlier, like guys don't
Take
talk.
you shopping.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, is he like coming on to me? And so we go to Nordstrom's. I've never been in a Nordstrom's.
Okay.
Right? And I bought my first pair of like nice clothes.
Yeah.
Which was like these pair of like dark wash DKNY jeans.
Nice.
And so slowly I started making like baby steps.
Yeah.
To dress better. And that's also when I became like way less like shy and introverted. I think I became a lot more social post college, like kind of late bloomer that way.
What motivated you to say yes to him versus just blowing him off? Like, where you must have had some moment of like, he's right. Damn.
He probably hit me a few times. He was like, giving me a hard time about it.
Yeah.
right? Because I was trying to like, holler at, maybe like a cute girl in the office or
Yeah.
something. He's like, you can't do that looking like that, man.
Please, you got stretchy pants.
You got stretchy pants. I had this like weird, like kind of like matcha colored like
Yeah.
dress shirt.
Uh-huh.
It was bad, man. It was not a good situation. Yeah. And
Well,
and a silver like, Trans Am. Like nothing made sense.
oh wow.
Yeah.
And where were you at this time?
This is in Irvine.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I was commuting from the South Bay down to Irvine.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a lot.
In the silver Trans Am.
In the train.
In the early
which
2000s?
turned into a 350Z, which turned into a Corvette.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so I was still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you came out on the right side now.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, it took it, like, and then I think that was the beginning. And then when I got after, and then fast forward a few years, like design school, working in studios, like kind of traveling or working abroad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You start to like pick up
Yeah.
like that it matters.
International style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they care in most other countries.
They do.
It's funny how, what is it about the U.S.?
Yeah.
So behind the times on that.
I mean, especially West Coast.
Yeah.
Right? We're not dressing up to go outside. Usually we're
No.
just in athleisure.
Yeah,
But yeah, they do it better in Europe and in Asia.
for sure.
They do it better. And I think one of the first like what would you call it? Higher end brands that I got turned on to was G Star.
Yeah.
Man, like designers, industrial designers, car designers, like,
Yeah.
would like go to G Star like
Really?
moth to a flame.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very German kind
It
of
is kind
vibe.
of German. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember when I was, gosh, how old was I? 13, we went to Europe
Yeah.
and then just visiting a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the way back before we came back to San Diego at like 16, we went over there for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember picking up the vibe of all the international styles,
Right.
just so different
Oh, so fun.
and layered. And
Yeah.
and then I was fortunate enough to live in London in college, so I pick up more stuff. There was this store called Next that was like more of a city J. Crew, like a little more, gosh, elevated style. Not preppy, but
Yeah.
like I would say, almost starting to be what Rag and Bone is now, kind of a thing. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I think fashion is super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like dressing my kid and my wife
Oh, yeah.
more than myself. But
Yeah.
lately I've been trying. Ever since I met you, actually, I'm like,
Huh?
yeah, seriously. Yeah. I'm like, I
Rubbing
pay
off.
attention. Wednesday book study, better
Get the right fit.
Yeah, better, can't show up in sweats.
Does the wife mind you trying to dress her?
No.
That's cool.
Oddly enough, Hannah doesn't like enjoy shopping that much.
Yeah.
So I'll usually pick out some stuff.
Yeah.
And then she'll,
That's
if she
cool.
likes it, she'll get it. If she doesn't, she'll do,
Yeah.
no, I can't. And she's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not picking everything out for her.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's fun to dress other people.
Yeah.
To drape, as fashion
Yeah,
designers say,
yeah.
right?
It's fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drape, right? Silhouette.
Yeah. So going back, like, how did you get into cars or car design? So you left the finance job and then what?
Yeah. I started drawing cars literally as a probably about a 6-7-year-old in Seattle. I would just sit and draw all the cars parked on the street on the perimeter of our apartment complex.
Okay.
And it would like change every day. So I'd draw like, behind a little chain fence, there were like all these parked cars that would change every day. So I'd draw these cars. So I always liked cars. I always liked drawing, right? And then the summer between 8th and 9th grade, my dad brought a catalog from the Art Center College of Design. This like letterbox orange catalog. He brought it home.
Yeah.
And, they have different disciplines. So I'm flipping through it, like, 12 or 13 years old. And then like the last section is like transportation design. And there were these concept sketches
Mm-hmm.
of students in, I think it was like 1994 or so, was their graduating class, of their future vision of a 300ZX, Nissan 300ZX,
Oh, cool.
which used to be one of my favorite cars, still one of my favorites.
Yeah.
One of my friends has one. So I saw that, and like I couldn't, like I think I looked at that every night.
Yeah.
That's when I learned that you could be a professional car designer.
Yeah.
So literally in like when I was 13 or 14, when I was like 14, I made up my mind to
Really?
be a car designer.
That's cool.
So all throughout high school, all my friends were like, oh, Brian's going to be a car designer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm going to do, was, you know, the common answer, but Brian's going to be a car designer.
Yeah.
And so I went, before Art Center, I'd kind of like promised my, you know, Asian parents, American parents, that I would get a liberal arts degree first.
Okay.
So I went to UCLA.
So you could always fall back on a practical job, like one day.
Went to UCLA, studied economics.
Okay.
Right? I was a massive nerd in high school, so I had all these like AP credits.
Nice.
So I was able to graduate a year early and finish UCLA in 3 years.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Went straight to Art Center. Halfway through the first semester, I actually left
Okay.
and I decided to work because I had just done 3 years of school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, 4 more years of school back to back.
Yeah.
So I left and I decided to work first to like kind of get some perspective.
Yep. That's the Irvine gig.
Right before that, I sold cars for Honda Pasadena for about 2 weeks. And I was like,
2 weeks.
I'm like, come on, man. I can,
That's rough.
like, no shade, but I'm like, come on, this is not the dream, right?
Yeah.
And then I applied to everything I could. I got that job as a financial analyst. I did that for a year and a half, and I couldn't pretend any longer.
Yeah.
So then I went and I got a job at American Honda corporate,
Okay.
still not in design,
Yeah.
but one step closer, like in a car company. Right?
Okay.
Like maybe then I'll be
Yeah.
happy. you know?
Yeah.
And I did that for a year and a half.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's
Still.
still there.
Yeah.
Still there. So then I decided to go back to Art Center.
Okay.
So I get back like 3 years later, and the guys that I'd started with are like almost graduated.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? But,
Shoot.
you know, I met a whole nother class of,
Yeah.
you know, super talented people. So now I knew like, you know, a lot
Bunch of
more
people.
people, which was really cool.
Were you one of the older ones then at that time?
No, I was like right in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time. The median age used to be a lot older
Okay.
at Art Center. Now it's kind of younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went back at like 25.
Okay.
So
Do most people go get a 4-year degree and then go to Art Center after
traditionally,
maybe working a
like
bit too?
in the 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s, it was still like that.
Yeah.
And then it became more common to see like, you know, high school grads like just get their GEs done at a community college real quick
Yeah.
and then go straight to Art Center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like 21-year-olds.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the path. And then
Yeah.
Art Center is just, it's real, man.
It's a feeder, huh?
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
Like
tough.
really rigorous, critical theory of everything you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, they would be very real with you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, out of this graduating class of 15 to 18 students,
Mm-hmm.
like about 3 of you are going to land a seat
Yeah.
in a car studio.
Yeah.
So either make it a point to be in the 3
Yeah.
or make sure that you're open to other ways to make money. So
Well,
hear that and like you don't sleep for 4 years.
yeah.
Yeah, you just
That's
you
brutal.
blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Trying to take out some other guys because you're like,
All your friends become your competition.
yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild. Yeah.
It's like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill
Exactly.
I'm gonna kill this one.
Yeah. I mean,
Take my job.
yeah, shout out to all my classmates.
Yeah. Still love you.
Yeah. So
But you landed at doing design somewhere,
I
right?
did, yeah. I was fortunate to make the cut, right?
Mhm.
So I had like 2 or 3 options when
Yeah.
I graduated. And One of them was really attractive. It was to go to Japan and design for Mazda.
Amazing.
And then there was like Chrysler, Ford. I was trying to get into like Toyota because I had interned there. But they literally like picked my classmate and like, you know, instead of me. Yeah. So just like you were saying.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, he's a friend, so
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I'm so happy for you. I hate you, right? But, so I was gonna do Mazda, and then that was 2010.
Okay.
Tsunami.
Oh.
The nuclear
Whoa, yeah.
tsunami. So
Oh, wow.
so I declined last minute
Yeah.
because like expats were like moving back to the States.
Yeah.
They were like, there's gonna be radiation. You can't like do anything in the country. So I went to Ford.
Brutal. Okay.
I went to Ford, and then I was moonlighting, doing like vehicle designs for Mattel, like Hot Wheels and such at night.
Yeah.
And then designing like Ford and Lincoln by day.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But I was in Detroit.
Yeah.
Like by myself.
Yeah.
Right?
You were not married at this time?
I was engaged.
Okay.
Yeah. So I graduated, proposed, and I went, see ya. I
gotta go work.
I gotta go work. Hannah was preparing to move to Michigan after she finished nursing school.
Okay.
And then that freelancing turned into a job offer to come back to Cali.
Okay.
Right. So that was too sweet.
Yeah.
I had just done like my first year in Detroit, like solo. I was so like lonely, whatever.
Yeah.
So so I came back. I worked at Mattel for a little bit.
Awesome.
And then I decided that, you know, I had trained to design like cars that you could sit in and drive, not just like toy cars.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find a vehicle studio after some time at Mattel. So I went searching, and I reached out to Mazda, who had offered a job like 2-3 years prior. And they said, yeah, like,
nice.
We could do it. So, you know, my wife and I were like kind of newlyweds at that time. And we said like, no, F it, like let's YOLO. Let's go do something crazy, like live overseas.
Yeah.
So we did that.
Before the kids, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we went to Japan.
Yeah. How was that?
Japan was
It's in
amazing.
Hiroshima too, huh?
Yeah, Hiroshima. Yeah. A little bit of history there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So kind of weird, like going there as a Korean American working in Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And the overall experience was amazing, right? Like I can't believe now, right? Like that we got to do that. That's amazing, right? They moved us over there. They gave us like housing stipend, which helped us save money and pay off my student loans, right? We not only got to explore Japan, but we got to like go to neighboring countries all the time. It was really fun. And then the work culture was so different, which was interesting because as an Asian American, like I understood it because my parents are from Korea, right? Like I understand the expectations and the culture and the hierarchy, but I don't subscribe to it.
Right.
Because I was raised here.
Right.
So it was kind of like, I get you, but I don't play that game.
Yeah.
Which in the end makes you kind of an outsider, right?
And what's the game? Explain that a little. I have a sense of what I think you're saying, but I don't want to assume.
I think there's, I don't know about Japan, but like Korea is a very like Confucian society with a lot of like hierarchy and kind of like do what your boss tells you to do.
Yeah.
Don't leave work before your boss leaves. That kind of a deal. That plus Japan being a very like homogenous country, you can't help but be seen as a foreigner because there are so few foreigners.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like a melting pot like here. So it became very clear to me that like not in a discriminatory way, like I was just naturally a second class, you know, sort of citizen or second class worker.
Yeah.
So I'm here to like help the company.
Right.
But I'm not there for like professional development, for career growth, you know? So, you know, kind of, I did the math. I'm like, oh, well, 5-10 years here, it's not really
capped
going to
out.
get me anywhere.
Yeah.
It's bamboo
Interesting.
ceiling, as they call it, right?
Oh, bamboo ceiling.
Yeah.
Funny. Okay.
So the move is, if you are an American and you want to work overseas, I now tell people, like friends, like, work for an American company at an office that they have in that country.
Right. Okay.
Because then between 9 and 5, you're kind of in something familiar, so you're not stressed out
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
that's
What Mazda cars did you design?
What's that?
What would we know that, of cars that you've designed?
The first production car I influenced was the Mazda CX-9.
Okay.
The big SUV.
Yep.
Which I think the first model year was 2017 or 16.
Yeah.
So not my whole car by any means, but like the front end design, I got to work a lot on that.
Yeah.
And after that, I worked on what's called the Mazda RX Vision concept. Just the naming isn't great because it's like RX Vision. It's like eye prescription, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like that, right?
Yeah.
But it was a concept car, which was really cool. So
That's fun.
Mazda had spent, in total, we spent like, I wasn't there the whole time, right? Before I got there, they were already going on this like 7th generation design study. So like 7th generation of their vehicles. So how to evolve the design language for their next like 10, 20 years of cars. They wanted, so they started with like sculptures, started with like form studies, how to develop like a unique aesthetic that's like instantly Mazda.
Yeah.
So I got to do a lot of that, like conceptual design, which was really fun. And working with like clay modelers, giving them sketches, and they would interpret it into like sculpture.
Yeah.
And then that led to the RX Vision, car.
That's cool.
Which debuted like a year after I came back to the States. Yeah. So
it seems like the Mazda design language has been pretty distinct lately. Like, particularly as you compare Nissan, Toyota, that have really sort of seem like they're very similar right now.
Yeah.
Like Mazda, certainly the front end is pretty distinct, I would say.
Yeah. They were in the middle of transitioning from, they as in Mazda, they wanted to change their brand perception from like Zoom. You remember that?
Yeah.
Zoom. They were like the fun company to a premium company. And so they wanted to punch with, like, go head to head with like BMW and Lexus design. Like they had, they're such like a small dog, Mazda. Mazda wanted to go premium. So that's why the cars look the way they do. Like they don't want to be mistaken for like a Honda, Nissan, or Toyota. So they have this really fluid, like body language, very sculptural, and then like the front grille is very distinct. Which debuted with that CX-9.
That the grille debuted with the CX-9?
I got to work on, which was really fun.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Any other projects that you were super proud of?
At Mazda?
Anywhere.
In
your automotive design career?
Yeah, like probably the Ford Bronco.
Okay.
Yeah.
The new one, or what we know as the new one?
What you know as the new one?
Yeah.
That came out in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. That was,
nice.
That was a huge opportunity. Like that doesn't come around very often at all.
Yeah. Certainly caught fire for a while.
Yeah.
I had one on order. It's funny, because that's when it first.
Feel that.
Yeah. Well, when it first was about to come out, there was such like a scarcity mentality behind it. Like, get it on a list.
Yeah.
Wait, keep asking the dealer.
They had a chip shortage, so like no one, everybody wanted like to get their car.
Yeah. But then it seemed like, then they had plenty.
Yeah.
So I ended up not taking delivery of my car. Yeah. Even though I'd spec'd it out and so forth.
Oh, tell me what spec.
It was the 2-door.
Oh yeah.
Black. I don't remember all the other details, but 2-door hardtop.
The hardtop? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is still a cool car.
Yeah.
But
Sasquatch package.
I think I ended up buying a Tesla at the time. Silly. Then sold the Tesla for the 93 Range Rover,
Okay.
which was a money pit,
Yeah.
but beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Manual,
Yeah.
imported from Barcelona.
Right.
It was really cool.
Oh, Barcelona.
Black on, yeah, Barcelona. Black on tan. So it was really, really great.
Very classic.
Color scheme, yeah.
Yeah.
But $2,000 a month in continual repairs is just unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing what a good-looking object can make you do?
Yeah.
Financially
Poor decisions.
poor decisions. Yeah.
That's a metaphor for other areas of good-looking
Yeah,
objects.
it's good luck.
But anyway,
Yeah. Sure.
no, I just love the shape, the squareness, the cleanness,
Oh yeah.
the lines, and
Yeah,
the
Range Rover Sport.
no,
Oh, the Range.
it was a classic.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the windows,
Because the windows are like 60%.
really tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the body's like smaller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because the guy I bought it from, he's just got tired of the car being too small for him, he said, because he was like 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5'11", it's fine.
Perfect.
But he would sit in the car, and the way the seats sit so high in there that your head gets close to the ceiling rather easily. So when you're sitting in the car, your legs are almost like up to the windowsill. Yeah, it's so bizarre.
The belt line.
Yeah.
That we call it, where the glass hits the shoulder.
Yeah,
It's like super low.
yeah,
Yeah. So you get this like amazing view.
so wild.
Yeah. And the dash is like super short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was the other thing, is the wood veneer stuff that was in there on the dash and stuff was like just crackling off, and it's impossible to replace.
British
You can't find
character.
it. Yeah, you can't find that stuff. It's like,
Oh, you thought you were in London.
yeah,
And you wanted to
Yeah.
look like a gentleman.
yeah.
Yeah.
My barber coat,
Yeah.
so forth.
Right.
Yeah, Drake's. Wear your Drake. So you're not doing car design now.
Oh, yeah.
You're making a pivot. What's going on now from corporate, starts in finance, then he goes into car design. Now what? Entrepreneur?
Wow.
You don't have to give us, I know it's like
No, it's good.
under wraps. It's a Skunk Works.
It is
Skunk Works operation,
Yeah.
but what's going on?
Actually, the context or the frame up of that is like, I hadn't really thought of it that way, but I do think that I am somebody who doesn't really like to be stagnant or too comfortable in in any given space or profession. Right? Kind of this like antsiness itch, right?
This creative spirit that's just always
Maybe. And sometimes it leads to rash decisions, right? But I think in this case, after Mazda, after Bronco, at Ford, like the question that came to mind was, when I look up to the very head of design, like, is that the job I want? Is that the career I want? Or simply like, now that I've done a couple production cars, like, how many more times do I want to do this, right?
Yeah.
Because a car takes 3 to 4 years to develop. So it's pretty slow. I think planes are slower, but
yeah.
so I wanted a fresh challenge then. And so from car design, I went into brand strategy and a little bit of marketing, right? Started trying to tie together that economics, business background with design. And so I started pivoting a little bit, and then found myself at a startup, for about 2.5 years, where I got to see all sorts of, different parts of the business that I had never seen before. Fundraising, social media campaigns, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so, I'd been sitting on this itch to pull the trigger and do my own thing for a while. And I kind of felt like now equipped to do that. And, of course, with a family, including a young child and a mortgage and all that,
Yeah.
It had to make sense, you know, financially and time split wise
Yeah.
as well. A lot more moving parts now.
Yeah.
No YOLO, let's go to Japan. Right?
Can't just do that again.
Right? So, but yeah, I give all that background because I think this is the latest. This is simply me like trying to grow and like metamorphosize again, you know, like get to a new stage, right? Yeah, I don't want to be complacent or stagnant, you know? And so, yeah, right now I'm in the thick of like feeling terrified, you know, and also extremely excited. And then going from like, I know exactly what to do to like total imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But I tell myself, you know, I'm fortunate to have this opportunity.
I think all entrepreneurs have imposter syndrome.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. I from all the ones I hear from, it's like,
yeah,
you're building the plane while you're flying.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I could have just been at a studio, maybe like a mid-level manager, or if, you know, I got really lucky, like a chief designer, team of designers, and just do 5 or 6 tasks a day.
Yeah.
Go home, get that paycheck.
Yep.
Everything's defined, you know?
Life would be easier. I sometimes wish I had that mind myself, because I think the inner turmoil and somewhat torture of our sorts of spirits, like, it causes hardship.
Yeah.
You know, like stress, like, but it's unavoidable. It's just innate.
I guess so. It's like, oh, I've built my tent, my village is set up, I got my farming field here. I know where the animals come to go hunt every season. But like, let's pack up and
try some
move
other
up
land.
the mountain over there. And
it's interesting over there.
So
I've been wanting to see over that hill.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Right. But I mean, you know, it's an adventure.
You know what? Exploration. Explorers. Yes.
Ford Explorers.
We need those.
No.
Sweet.